So hope everyone's doing well. I saw a few yawns, but guys, you have to be ready. It's time to go now. So we're going to be moving quickly through the presentation. But again, we're talking about the Galilee Culinary Institute by JNF, and I'm going to go through these quickly so that at the end we'll have some time for question and answer. And then if you have any questions for me, feel free, obviously, to send me an email at the end. I'd be happy to discuss with you offline. So, like Joel was just saying, if you build it, they will come. And that is exactly what we are doing, building something before it becomes popular. And the North and the South are the two destinations for JNF. And JNF is always at the foresight of thinking of what is next and what needs to be done in Israel. And so the thought process I'll get into, but the North is ripe for food businesses and in culinary. So first off, I want to thank you guys because this doesn't happen without you. This is actually a picture of me at the facility a couple weeks ago, looking out on the horizons, getting ready for the opening of the GCI in late 2021, early 2022. But I'll get into that more as we go. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being JNF supporters, JNF friends, donors, whatever you guys are. We appreciate it because this doesn't happen without you guys in the land of Israel. So where do I come from? So I do come from Maryland. I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland for the first 30 years of my life, and then decided to make a trip out to Arizona. It's supposed to be a 6-month trip. It happened to be 6 months. That turned into then 6 years, and got involved with JNF Futures Arizona, helped start the JNF Future Group. And that's me with a very short beard. And now, as I always say, my mother is not very happy that the beard has taken over my beautiful face. But that is what happened. And after JNF Futures Arizona, we decided to make Aliyah with Nefesh B'Nefesh, which is also a JNF affiliate. And then I met Russell at a food tech event, and we were talking. I said, look, I didn't come to Israel to just twiddle my thumbs. I'm here to have an impact. I was doing some work for some companies in America. And I said, look, I'm having an impact here in Israel. Let me know if you're doing anything big here in the North, but I'm here in the North. So I want to do something big in the North. If you know of something, let me know. And he started talking to me about culinary. And I wasn't too sure because I'm not too big on food in the sense of enjoying for pleasure. I know how important food is. I know how important Shabbat is and the holidays and bringing people together and come together. But for me, all I need is a little drip. And if I got all my nutrients that way and I could do more work and have more time with my friends and family, then I'd be very happy. But after learning about what was happening in the region and learning about what was going on, I realized the impact this is going to have.
On top of here.
So that is how we got to today. And now I've been working on the GCI by JNF for over a year, and we are making some great strides, and I'll get into that right now. So, the pioneers of yesterday were digging with shovels, and today they're changing the world. I mean, we obviously know with Israel's technology and all that's happening is really having a change in the world and the world scene. You see with like COVID, you see with alternative proteins and meats and all these things. This is actually a picture of the building of the medical facility that's happening in Kiryat Shmona as well, which is also a JNF project, because it's very hard to get people in the North if you don't have medical help and medical care, and especially for children. So if a child breaks an arm, you have to drive all the way to either Tzfat, where I live, or to Tiberias. And that's about an hour to 2-hour trip to get any kind of medical care. So thankfully, JNF has also stepped up to determine that a medical facility is needed, because without that, you can't bring talent and you can't get people to want to live in the North if you can't take care of your own family when it comes to their health.
Okay.
So you can only be as strong as your foundation. And thankfully, we have a very strong foundation with JNF, obviously support, with great leadership, impact, and vision. It really obviously makes something like this possible. Same thing in the greater Kiryat Shmona region. You have a very young group of motivated leaders that are really looking to change the narrative. And without having pillars that are able to help bring these things along, the Culinary Institute could not work. So without these things, You have to have a strong foundation, and thankfully with JNF and the region, and all the work that's being done in the north with like tax incentives and business incentives, it's really a unique opportunity for JNF and for the Culinary Institute. So the question you might ask, why a Culinary Institute? You know, what is JNF doing getting involved in culinary, and why a Culinary Institute in the north? So first of all, our goal is to create a center for culinary experiences, excellence, and innovation. I'll explain what that means, but we're leveraging the assets in the region. The north is known for its land, it's known for its produce, it's known for its vineyards, its honey farms. It's really known for food. And so what technology is for Tel Aviv is what we want to make the north for food. And the government is along for the ride. They've made some huge strides and put a lot of money and investments in the north. You have huge companies that are getting involved. JBP Partners, Our Crowd, Tenuva, Tempo, which are the largest food companies in Israel, have all made investments in the north. There are incubators, food incubators, accelerators. Beit Asher, which is also a JNF project, is in the north. So much is happening with food, and it is the perfect time to bring a Culinary Institute. And I'll explain why as we go through this. So I'm going to give you one example of a life cycle from start to finish to give you an example of what we're doing with our services, but also to explain how it's all integrated. And so these are the 10 steps. First, right place at the right time. So right now, you might be thinking, well, who's going to a restaurant? With COVID and all that's happening in the world, no one's going to restaurants anymore. No one's traveling in tourism. But if you think about it, we're opening in a year plus. And so what that does is it gives us time to actually create a program based on what's happening right now. So what does that mean? When it comes to COVID, we have no clue what's going to happen with restaurants. We have no clue what's going to happen with food distribution, food chain distribution, suppliers. We don't know what's going to happen with the way this whole process works. And so what we're able to do is we're able to teach what is relevant. So our students are able to learn what is most important. For example, food kits are a big thing right now. So creating these box food kits that have all the ingredients ready to go so you can make it at your home. So you have to get creative today. And what is unique about this time, while obviously it's not fun for anyone going through COVID and the whole world is obviously experiencing it, it is actually a very unique opportunity because the Galilee Culinary Institute can immediately be a leader in the industry, because a institute like the CIA in America, which is the Culinary Institute of America, one of the top schools in the world for culinary, they are big, robust, and have a very hard time making a U-turn, because now what has happened, they have to change their whole model. They have to change everything when it comes to their teaching styles and what they're going to do in the classroom. We don't have to worry about that. We can create it at the outset, and that's what actually we're doing right now. We're creating our curriculum, and we're working with professionals throughout the world. And unique thing is, we're going to be on site. We're going to be learning in person, but we also will have learning from a distance. We'll also be having some online courses to take before you get to the school. So a lot of unique things that we're doing that allow us to do what is needed in the current time. And so we're not bound by an old curriculum, and we're not bound by restrictions with academia. We are able to do what is needed right now. And so that's a very unique thing for any of these programs. And we can be immediately relevant and immediately a leader in the culinary industry. So I'll give you an example of how the whole process will work. There was a student at Tel Chai, which is the college in the north, who created a flour from the leftover wine products. So the seeds and peels, and created a flour from it, which is very good for the human body, not very good for the soil because it's high in acidity. So all the vineyards have to get rid of this leftover waste and bring it to a third party and remove it in an environmentally friendly way. So this student figured out a way to create a flour from this, like to bake, and so created this flour that's good for the body, high in antioxidants, a superfood. And so what can happen is we can learn about this, our students, in real time. So we can find out that this is happening at the Beit Asher Food Tech Incubator. They can tell us a couple of the startups that are happening, and our students can go learn about it real time as they're creating the product. And then the students can go learn hands-on at the fields, go to a vineyard and actually learn hands-on what is happening and how it's happening, as opposed to just reading from a book or learning it from an online source. So once they do that, then they could take the food back with them, bring it back to the institute, and work with it. So what does it taste good in? What is the consistency, and what would go well with this new supplement or added flavor? And so then what we could do is, once we've perfected it and worked on it, we can showcase it in our restaurant. So our restaurant is able to showcase the products that are being created. It's able to showcase local innovation and local products. We're going to be doing farm to table, bringing things from local sources for the most part. And so it's a unique way to showcase these things in our restaurant as people are coming and dining with us throughout the world. So let's say this becomes a big trend and a big thing that people want to start using. Everyone wants to use wine flour. So now we can start teaching classes on it. We can teach the experts. We can have classes with actual chefs that want to use it in some of their creations at their own restaurants, or people that want to use it in their home. So we can create classes based around the things that are actually new and exciting and things that we've worked with. And again, a unique way to get people involved, whether it's in tourism or the locals. So again, today we're so connected with marketing. It's very easy to showcase something that's happening across the world. Hence the reason, I'm here in Israel right now speaking to you guys. You're able to now be from a Zoom call away or a Facebook post away, reading about things that are happening in the region. So we're able to highlight through marketing the things that are happening in the Galilee, things that are happening in Israel, and showcasing some of the unique things that are coming out of the region. So let's see, someone reads the post, they see what's going on, and they want to get involved. So now they want to invest in this company, in the wine flour. So what happens? They need to build a team, and building a team brings people to the north. And so that's the goal, is to get people in the north and to build new companies in the north. And so now this company is growing. They need some employees, and now they're going to move to the north. And with families comes children. Well, obviously we need to have a kids in the kitchen program teaching our future how to be creative, nutrition, best ways to eat. And this is how you create a bright future. And then instant value. So now our students that have learned about this wine flour, let's say some vineyard in Sonoma wants to do the same thing. Our students are now instantly valuable to the companies. So whether they want to start their own things or they want to get involved with some larger companies and have a major impact, they're able to go wherever they're going. Hopefully they'll stay in Israel as well. We'll have some people stay and start building businesses in the north. But wherever they go, the whole point is that they're going to be valuable, and we want to create culinary leaders. We're not looking to create, there's nothing wrong with being a chef, and there's nothing wrong with being a sous chef, but we really want to create culinary leaders of tomorrow. And the goal is, with this program and with our curriculum, we will be able to do that. So a quick update on where we're at. Everything's moving forward with the construction and the building. Like I said, a late 2021, early 22 opening is what we are aiming for. And the more information we get, the more we will let everyone know. We've completed our brand identity, first phase. So we're really happy about that. We just launched our site, a site, phase 1 site. So if you go to GalileeCulinary.com or gcibyjnf.com, you will see our website. We have also some amazing partners that we're working with in the US, in Israel, and a very unique opportunity to bring and collaborate with many different groups. Also, we've had some great PR. Lior, who's our director, is an amazing guy with lots of connections. Michael Samanolov is our first ambassador to our program, who's a Netflix chef. He's a huge James Beard award-winning chef. He decided he wants to be a part of this, and he's going to mentor our first group of students. So it's really, so far we've had only good press, good PR. Hopefully it should only stay that way. And the plan is, when we open, to have a big shebang. So here's some pictures, artist renderings. We're actually gonna have some new ones coming out soon, but they're still pretty cool for the time being. This is pictures of the building, the restaurant, the classrooms, and we will have actually some dorm rooms and rooms on site, which is what that picture is of. So last piece, we always love money, but we also love people with expertise in areas in the culinary field. And actually what I'm gonna do on the chat, I'm gonna post the link to our survey. We're actually doing surveys right now because we are building our curriculum, and we would love to hear from you guys. And what we're doing is doing a whole big summit with leaders from all throughout the world, in the culinary world, but also we want your guys' opinions on classes and different things to be doing. So, you know, we would love if you guys could fill out the survey. Please do. It'll take under 10 minutes. Very easy. But I will open the floor for any questions, comments. I'll leave it up to you guys.
First question, please.
Yes, I have one.
Sure.
Last December, Dov Glazer took me to Israel.
Yep.
To the Peretz Institute of Innovation and Science outside Jaffa.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing an awful lot of work, culinary work, but for protein issues.
Yep.
Locusts, and turning that into protein.
Yep.
Anything with the Peretz Institute?
Well, I mean, I don't know right now currently if that is a group we're going to work with. I mean, our goal is to work with groups that are looking to advance things, so they'd be a great one. But there are a lot of them already in the north, like incubators and accelerators that are doing similar things. The Locust, actually, there is a company that we've already spoken to, which is an accelerator, it's close to the Galilee, and one of their companies is this Locust company. And so, you know, the idea is to work with these groups. We actually there was a big meetup with the CEO of the Good Food Institute. I don't know if you guys have heard of them in America, but it's all about alternative proteins. And he gave us a perfect plug at the end. He said, at the end of the day, if it doesn't taste good, no one's going to eat it. I don't care if we save the world with the healthiest burger ever. If it doesn't taste good, no one's going to eat it. And so that's the whole point of the Culinary Institute, is we want to make it taste good. We want to showcase it. And so that's where the unique opportunity lies. We're able to now play with it. We're able to have tourists come through. You know, JNF has 10,000 people come through a year, you know, through Israel and tour. I have a feeling the GCI might be on their list of touring places. But, you know, if it is, then, you know, people can give feedback and you do proof of concepts, and you can really test things out at our institute. So our goal is to work with different groups like that. Can you tell me the name once more?
The Peretz Institute or Dov Glazer?
All right. Yeah, the institute.
Yeah, I think it's Peretz Institute of Innovation and Science out of Jaffa.
Yeah, we'll look into it. But we have right now, we're already connected with the accelerators and incubators in the north, which are doing similar things. But the Locust is a unique one.
Well, that was one thing that they were working on. There was several as well, but that is not only to taste good, it's to enhance the world protein.
Yep. It's a inexpensive source of protein that could be used in countries that need the protein.
Next question, comment?
Yes, I'd like to know, there was no mention about kashrus. Does the Institute does the authority of the rabbinical authority approve of it?
Yep, we're working on that now as we speak. We will be a kosher institute, but to be honest, that's not a marketing tool for us, because usually kosher does and good tasting does not. Well, I'm kosher, so my wife, she's sleeping. So, but her cooking is amazing. But usually it doesn't go well and hand in hand. You usually don't think kosher restaurant, especially in America, you don't think kosher restaurant usually translates into culinary expertise. So it's not a marketing tool for us, but it is something that is very important, because in order to be inclusive in Israel, that is the only way to do it. And kosher is also halal and is also vegan. So, you know, you call it what you want to call it. We can market however you want to market, but it will be kosher. and it will be very, very good food, and people will be very surprised when they leave realizing that they just had a fully kosher meal that tasted amazing. So that was a very good question.
I have a question. Does
Sure.
anyone in the group know Randy Fertel, who's connected with the Culinary Institute at Nicholls State in Thibodeau? And that might be a resource not only for funding, but for innovation. So anyone listening, if they have that contact, it might be worthwhile. That's Ruth Fertel's son. The late
Yeah, no, we're happy. We're actually, and as I was saying, we're doing a summit currently where we are polling some of the top professionals in the world. So we have an amazing group of people that have already signed up and are providing feedback. And what we're doing is from the experts, we're also going to be taking a group and having a summit online. So you guys are all invited to it. We're going to be having a big kickoff. But basically, where we're going to be finalizing the program together with experts. Because look, at the end of the day, we want to do what's going to be best for the culinary leaders of the future. We don't claim to be the experts in everything, and so that's why we want to partner with the best minds. And we already have an agreement. I can't go too far into it with a company called Ruby. They're an online cooking school. They have 700,000 students. They're very interested in working with us. They're helping us with our curriculum. But the unique thing is, like you said, being able to share the technology and things that are happening here are, the world wants to hear about these things, and people want to know the technologies and things that are coming out and that are going to be in the industry. And we're able to help, bring out those messages. And so it's a unique opportunity for, alignments with groups in America and throughout the world, because at the end of the day, technology and innovation that helps the world is a win for everyone. So.
You need to
sponsored a culinary school and brought many chefs from New Orleans to Rosh Hashanah. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, we did.
Nope.
Very famous chefs went to talk cooking and culinary skills to the people at Rosh Hashanah, as well as they had some kind of not buffet, but a big deal.
No, and I'll say one unique thing about what we're doing is, there's three major unique things that we're doing based on the culinary world. One is we're learning hands-on. So we're going and learning from the actual entrepreneurs. We're learning from the actual chefs, the artisans. So we're learning hands-on from people. The second thing is we're focusing on business and leadership as well, which is not usually taught in culinary institutes. And like the last thing is, like I was saying before, is we're not tied to a curriculum. So a major part of our curriculum is going to be on innovation. So we can literally say 10% or 15% of our schedule is unknown, because we're going to learn about the things as they're happening. So unique aspects and that we're working on. It's really, really cool, and is really great timing with what's going on right now.
Next. So I'm correct that there are actually some types of locusts named in the Torah to be kosher.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This is true. And so there's actually, I heard a unique thing. Officially no one knows the species of grasshopper that is kosher, but it seems like it has been identified now, and it is an actually kosher insect, the one that they are using for the proteins. And the majority of the rabbinical ordination have approved it. The issue is, and this is what I heard from behind the scenes, the issue is what people think when they see someone eating grasshopper, because then they might think that other grasshoppers and other species are kosher. And a big piece of kosher and kashrut is perception. So there's supposedly, I think, 2 kashrut rabbis that haven't approved it yet, but are close to actually approving it. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's fully correct, but it is very unique. I don't know how enthusiastic I am about grasshoppers, but hey, you never know.
Do they taste like fork legs?
Maybe. I've been to New Orleans too, and before I was kosher, No, I'm just
Potato chips, yeah.
exactly like chicken, just like chicken.
I understand that they're supposed to be very delicious, but the argument that people will see someone eating grasshoppers and think all grasshoppers are kosher, that seems to me it would preclude all chicken and beef, because people will see somebody eating chicken or beef and think that all chicken or beef is kosher.
Well, it technically is. It is technically until it's slaughtered. So that's the difference.
How do you butcher the grasshopper?
Oh, well, thankfully there's no butchery laws for insects.
Grasshoppers?
Yeah.
Well, I think Nathan, I appreciate what you're doing and the technology of it. I just feel like, you know, if you're satisfied with the drip, we're New Orleanians and we're just, you know.
So let me tell you,
we eat to live. We don't eat to live. We live to eat. You know,
someone's got to put together the plan, the financials, and all the money behind it. You know,
okay.
so
no, that's
there's
important.
got to be there's plenty of people that love eating. Eat away. It's great. I'm all for it. And look, on Shabbat we have my wife. We have guests. We usually have it depends on the night, but we have anywhere between 12 to 40 guests. So we have no issues with eating. We have no issues with a good time. We say l'chaim. We have good wine. I'm all good for it one day a week. The rest of the week, let me just work. That's all I'm asking.
No, well, you're doing the job I can't do. I wouldn't even begin to think about putting all this together.
My goal is for you guys to come to Israel and have an amazing experience. That's the goal, whether in classes or in the restaurant. That's my goal. Me eating, I'll wait for Shabbat. No problem.
Well, I'm hoping that they will take the locust grasshoppers and put them into a different form, because I've already got the name for it. You know, we've got Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
So the Jewish stuff will be Beyond Brisket.
Flour or meal out of it.
They already did that, by the way, too. They have already created a powder. So.
Please, next question. Well, thank you so much. I think anybody.
No problem, everyone. Everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. My email I'll put down here. But I also sent you guys the survey if you guys want to fill it out. And I look forward to seeing you guys in Israel hopefully very soon. Once all this, don't worry, everything's going to get better soon. Israel will create the solution. So we will all be traveling very shortly, and everyone will be here in Israel together with us, saying l'chaim at the GCI by JNF very soon. God willing.
Okay, amen.